Hi kids, I'm going to now show you some more multiplication games that you can play that are in the packet that Mrs. Van Doren has sent to you. In these games, you need a die for every one. And the first one you need actually cards, playing cards, and one die. And so since I don't have either one of those, I have found virtual dice as well as virtual cards. So let me pull this up. I have my dice there, my die, and I have my deck of cards. So wish me luck. I'm going to try and play the game with both of those. But first, let's read the directions. So in your playing cards, you're going to shuffle the playing cards and lay them face down, just like it shows over here. Then you're going to roll a die. Whatever number lands face up is the multiplier. Take turns flipping over the top card. Whatever number is on top must be multiplied by the multiplier. Whoever calls out the answer first keeps both cards. If there is a tie, place the cards at the bottom of the deck. Once all cards have been taken, the game is over. I don't think that this explained very well that you need a partner and that each of you are going to turn over one card. I'm going to actually modify it right now, and I'm just going to play by myself, and I'm going to turn one card over and multiply whatever number is on that dice over and over and over again. You can change it to have two players, and you each turn over a card and multiply it by the die, and whoever says it first gets to keep the cards. I think that is a great way to play too. So here's my die. I'm going to roll it, and I got a 4. I just felt like I had a 4 before. I'm going to try again. I got a 3. So now I'm actually going to write that number here because that's what I'm multiplying every card by. All right. Now you're supposed to take out the face cards, which are the Jack, the Queen, and the King. I can't do that in this deck, so if one of those comes up, I'm just going to tap it again. All right, 5. I say 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to keep a little tally mark. 10 times 3 is 30. 3 times 3 is 9. 7 times 3 is 21. 2 times 3 is 6. 10 times 3 is 30. 5 times 3 is 15. 9 times 3, 27. 5 times 3, 15. 9 times 3, 27 again. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3, 6. 6 times 3, 18. 1, an ace is also a 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 3 is 3. Hey, I didn't have any face cards. I wonder if there's a king. That is a face card. You don't want to count those. So as I played that by myself, I just kept track of how many I answered, and I stopped at 15, and that's a good practice. I could then go back and roll my die again. And now instead of times 3, I would do times 2 and do it again. Do it a few times. Master those facts. Have fun. Hey, this game is called Beat the Clock. In this one, you need to set a timer on either a watch or a clock for 1 minute. You're going to roll 2 dice and multiply the 2 numbers rolled. You're going to continue and see how many problems you can solve in 1 minute. I'm going to keep track of how many I solve by making tally marks over here. You could do it any way you need to. Maybe you have a piece of paper that you make a chart and you compare you and your partner. Or you have dry beans and you put a bean in your pile every time you get one for every one you get, or your partner might do that for you. So there's lots of ways to keep track of how many you've answered. I'm going to set a timer right now on my Alexa. Echo. Set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
Okay, I'm going to roll 2 dice. And I have 6 times 3 is 18. And then I have 2 times 2 is 4. The echo's giving me the answer. 6 times 3 is 18. 4 times 6 is 24. I don't want Echo to give me the answers. I want to do it. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 6 is 6. I hope the timer's still going. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. Echo, how much more time on the timer?
You have less than 10 seconds.
10
left on
seconds.
your 1 minute
3 times 6 is 18. Oh, stop. Echo, stop. All right, so when I do tally marks, you always do 5 in clusters of 5. So 5, 10, plus 4 is 14. I got 14. Then your partner gets a turn. Actually, you don't have to play this with a partner. You could actually just play it with yourself and see if you can beat yourself in the next round that you play. It could also be fun to play with somebody else. Okay, the third game for dice and cards is called Race to the Top. This one is one of my favorite games. In this one, you need to have 1 die, and you need to have this game board because you have to write down your answers on here. You need 2 players, and this page gives you enough space to do 3 rounds. It really is such a fun game. I'm going to open up a little dice, a virtual dice. Again, I do not have those wonderful supplies that you have. So let me move this. I can't get it moved. Oops, I'm going to move it over there. So I found virtual dice. I just typed in the words virtual dice in Google, and it brings up this really fun one that I can roll. I want a regular cube dice because I know it only has 6 sides and I only want up to 6. But if you look here, there's ones that go up to 8. Ooh, 2 dice. I only want 1 dice, so let's get rid of that one. So if you wanted to work on facts that are higher than 6, you can go all the way up to 12. That would be fun too. But I'm going to stick with the 6. So what you do is you are going to roll the dice and multiply the number on your dice with this first number. I'm going to write it down just because it'll help me remember what I'm doing. So you do that, and then player 2 does the same thing right after you. I'm going to play both player 1 and player 2. So player 1 belongs in this column here. Player 2 belongs in this column here. At the very end, you add up all your products and you see who has the higher number, and that's the one who wins. All right, let's begin. I'm going to roll my dice. Whoops, I'm going to roll my die. Did you know that when there's only 1, it's called a die, and when there's 2 or more, it's called dice? It is. So I'm going to roll my die, and I got a 4. So I'm going to go ahead and write that right here. So it becomes 4 times 4. And I'm going to double the 4s twice. So 4 times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 2 is 16. So I got 16. Player 2 is going to be in black. They have a 5. Well, I just realized if I put that there, it means player 2 doesn't have a place to put it. So I'll leave that off. So player 2 is doing 5 times 4. Easy to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ooh, they have 20. Sorry, I'm gotta put that. I'm gonna go back and put purple. Okay. Oops. I tried to give myself more than I deserve. 16. All right, player 1, me. I roll and I get a 5. 5 times 8. So 5, 10, 15 is 3. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I'm going to put a 40. And then player 2 gets to go. And they have a 2. They're probably sad about that. All right, my turn. I have 2 times 6. 6 and 6 is 12. They have 2 times 6. They don't even have to think. I already solved it for them. Next up is times 2. It's going to be easy because I just double the 4, which is 8. And then they have 4 times 2. Hey, copying me again. All right, I'm going to roll one more time for each of us. 2 times 7, 7 and 7 is 14. And they roll 1 times 7 is 7. I don't know, I feel like I might be winning. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to put in some numbers here. 6, 25, 27, and pretend that I've rolled all of this so that we can show you how to finish it up. So once you've had your row, you got to take some time to now add these numbers. It's okay if you use a calculator, I think, but you can also do it on paper. I'm going to do it really quickly. 12, 18, 22, 30, 32, 38. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 148. And partner 2 got 16, 24, 37. Carry the 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 97. I might have miscalculated on that, so I want to double check it. But in this example, player 1 is the winner. And then you can go ahead and do another game here on another day or with another person. And that would be nice and fun. Have fun.